Today I'm listening to Songs in the Sunroom by Field Medic. It's a very cold, cloudy day in Seattle, um, and I was really wanting to listen to something like with a very I guess south feel, if that makes sense. Um, it reminds me a lot of my childhood, and just really was feeling nostalgic for it. So I had a really hard time picking what I wanted to listen to today. It was between this and All Hail West Texas by the Mountain Goats and Will Be Tucker by Ethel Cain. And I ended up choosing this because it really ties like a very yearning part of my heart. I have a lot of close ties with this album. I started listening to Field Medic when I was in high school, I think about 2018, 2019. And I've been to a couple of his shows. He's signed some stuff of mine. And I've had a lot of tender, important moments to songs from this album and his discography in general. And I really think that's what Field Medic is best for. He's a great artist to listen to when you're in love, or when you're spending time with a partner, or meeting somebody for the first time and it feels special, that type of feeling. And I don't know, it's just a really comforting album to me, and it's yeah. Anyways, here's the album art. Just have that wonderful man in his studio. Not too much going on the inside. We just have some extra art, and then we have the CD. I think the CD art is really nice, and we have the track list on the back. Yeah, I'd have to give this album, trying to not be biased, I'd say an 8 out of 10. It's up there for me. My favorite track probably has to be Gypsy Dead Girl. It's a really good album. I really recommend listening to it. The only reason why I don't give it full points is I think there's a couple songs or tracks on this album that are still really good, but I think the vibe is thrown a tiny bit. Just the first two songs are super I wouldn't quite say upbeat, but they're a lot more up tempo than the rest. And obviously that's not an issue. But I don't know. I really like the tone of the latter songs rather than the first few songs. And yeah, I think this is a great listen if you haven't listened to it before. Definitely give it a listen. It's one of my favorites. And small, not really important announcement, but I have added my Spotify to my bio. I have a couple playlists public, one of them being my CD collection, which I'm making these videos on. So if you're curious and you want to see what I have, or what I'll be talking about in the future, you can always go there and check it out. I also just have my personal stuff public, so you can always go ahead and just listen to that if you feel like it. But yeah,